might think that getting into the IT field is impossible without a computer science degree, but Tech Coach Ralph is here to prove you wrong. Get ready for some jaw-dropping revelations on how to break into this lucrative industry. Listen up, tech enthusiasts! Are you ready to break through into the IT field, but feel like you need a computer science degree to make it happen? Think again! Tech Coach Ralph has some exclusive, mind-blowing secrets to share with you. Get ready to be blown away by his jaw-dropping revelations on how to break into the tech industry without a computer science degree. So get your notepad ready, because Tech Coach Ralph is going to change your life forever. Buckle up, because you're about to embark on a journey to success in the IT field.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. How is everyone doing today? Today is Friday, January 26th, 2024, the last day of the work week. Well, maybe of the regular traditional work week, but here we do not stop working. We are always getting it in. So, with that being said, I want to welcome everyone to the Coffee and Kata show. If you do not know who I am your host of the show, Tech Coach Ralph, where we are engineered to win. In the Coffee and Kata show, the early morning show, we are going to look at some news stories, have a cup of coffee, and we are going to get into our coding challenge. Today is Friday, so we're going to be going on CodeWars and doing one of their challenges. Good short little challenges that helps us stimulate our mind. During Mondays and Wednesdays, we do the Chaos Camp Challenge, where it's more testing focused, more comprehensive. But for those like quick wins, quick hits, we're gonna do the Code Wars on Friday, similar to how we were doing the Git branching learning last year. So we're going to be working on Code Wars, and it's like a different challenge every time we come to it. So, and it's really good, really mind stimulating. So just good stuff all around. All right. So with that being said, let's jump into the show. But if you didn't get a chance to check out last night's stream where we were doing implementing the automation tools for Free Mind Recovery, our friend Calculus Coders startup, right? Definitely check it out. A lot of insight, a lot of learning. Selenium and JavaScript and TypeScript is not being very friendly to us. I'm going to do some investigation on that this weekend, but it worked amazing with Cypress, and we are on our way with Playwright. We're able to automate registering with a unique username and email address, and then to actually log in. And we just have to finish that part in Playwright, which we'll pick up on next week. And hopefully we can get Selenium working by then. But it was just an amazing show all around. So I hope that you check it out and you find it informative and entertaining. And, definitely leave me a comment with any questions or thoughts and stuff like that. All right. So, as well, if you haven't done so yet, check out the Patreon at www.techcoachralph.dev, where you can get one-on-one coaching. And you can get access to exclusive content, including what I did last week live, where I added my recent position to my resume. A recent meaning, I started last year in February, and I added that to my resume. And, and I just did some enhancements overall. So definitely worth checking it out. But yeah, and of course, like the video, share the video, leave me a comment, interact with me in the chat, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you can know every single time that we go live. All right. So we are going to jump into it. And by the way, we are going live on Sunday. Might be a little bit early. I have to figure that out, but you'll see it when it's scheduled. And that's pretty much the plan. All right. So let's jump into our news articles for the day. Okie dokie. And we are going to set our timer as well. All right, let's throw up there a 5-minute timer, and let's jump in. All right. So the first one is actually related to our episode of the Bug Bite today, which I know it's scheduled, but maybe I didn't premiere it yet. So I'll have to set that up right after the show. But it's going to be about the DOJ investigating GM's cruise, right? The Justice Department is investigating an October accident involving a pedestrian and a Cruise anonymous vehicle. The General Motors owned robotaxi company confirmed Thursday. Federal prosecutors, along with the Securities and Exchange Commission and other national and state regulators, are looking into Cruise's response to the pedestrian collision. The company also released a report from a third-party investigation which found no intention to deceive regulators, but noted an us versus them mentality and failures include poor leadership and mistaken judgment. Cruise's robotaxi fleet has been off the road for the past 3 months. And meanwhile, in San Francisco is suing a California state commission that permitted Cruise and Google's Waymo to expand, citing serious problems caused by their self-driving vehicles, the Washington Post reported this week. And that's unfortunate because I have been looking forward to the flying vehicles for such a long time, but we can't even get self-driving vehicles on the road. So it doesn't look very likely for my flying vehicles that was promised to us back in 2000. But it is what it is. All right. And before we go on, let me acknowledge already in the chat, we have Operation Tech Takeover. It says peace and blessings, bro. Peace and blessings to you, Operation Tech Takeover. Have a safe drive to work. Always supporting. So what a wonderful person. All right. But yeah, have a safe drive to work and we will definitely chat later. All right. And let's jump into our next one. More adults mooching. Yes, it said mooching off of their parents. So their children may be adults, but that's not stopping parents from helping them achieve their financial goals. That sounds highly familiar. Nearly 60% of parents have done just that in the past year, according to a Pew Research survey on Thursday. The assistance comes as high costs for housing, student loans, and everyday expenses delay key adult milestones like marriage, children, and buying a home. Nearly 6 out of 10 young adults still live with their parents. One woman whose mother gave her and her husband the down payment for a New York apartment said it would have taken 300 years to save up the money. I really wonder what they're actually doing. But okay. Meanwhile, more than 20% of younger Americans don't think they'll be able to retire given the challenge of finding a good entry-level job, student debt, and high cost of living, according to the TIAA Institute survey. So, I would say that many people make terrible decisions with their lives, and then they end up in these particular situations where they blame everyone except for looking as Michael Jackson said in the song, instead of looking at the man or woman in the mirror to see what decisions they have made and how they could have made other decisions that would have been more promising, more fulfilling. Since we have some time, right? Because there's only one article left. Many people, they go to college and they take on an extraordinary amount of student loan debt for what makes them feel good and not actually what's going to be actually good for them, right? So we'll go and we'll take some liberal arts degree, political science, music, whatever, right? And then we get out there into the real world and the best that we can do is waiting tables at some restaurant or something like that, which there's nothing wrong with doing that, except for you shouldn't be paying hundreds of thousands of dollars in degrees and student loans and whatever, loans and stuff like that, to end up working at at Starbucks or something, right? Not planning correctly, right? So with that being said, now then they want to go into tech and do something and take a boot camp, like become a software engineer, software developer in like 3 to 6 months. They're doing a boot camp, working on some arbitrary projects, and then they say, what gives? It doesn't work, right? So we need to and for a lot of us, it's too late for us, right? But it's not too late for the ones that come behind us, for our children and stuff like that. So we need to make sure that we are advising them to make the wise decisions and not live off feelings and emotions like a lot of us did when we were younger, making the like honestly dumb decisions, right? So we need to do better for the ones coming after us so that they do not have to be children, like adult children's living off their parents, sucking dry the parents' retirement fees, or retirement funds. All right. So, it is what it is. All right. And let's jump into our very last article for this wonderful Friday. Kind of deep for a Friday, but just because it's Friday, the world doesn't stop turning. Life doesn't stop. All right. All right. Let's get into our last one. Insurers cash in on high premiums. Of course they do, right? Surging insurance rates are bad news for policyholders, but a bright spot for insurance giants and their investors. The Wall Street Journal reports double-digit rate hikes at Travelers, for example, led the company to post record profits in its fourth quarter, while shares climbed to an all-time high 35% last fall. Allstate and Progressive appear to be on similar financial trajectories after also raising their premium prices. Imagine that. When people don't use their insurance that much, and you still raise the prices to make to make a much more profit. Interesting, right? Insurers have been pushing to raise their rates for some time, but securing state approvals to do so can take years, leaving premiums lagging behind the cost of claims. In addition to rising rates, insurers are also restricting coverage, with some pulling back from disaster-prone areas, the journal notes. So they're increasing the insurance premiums, and they are not offering insurance as well. What a recipe for success! Well, definitely success for the insurance companies. Just maybe, right? Maybe we should start investing in these insurance companies, and we can start getting back just a little bit of our premiums, right? Who knows? Okay, so those are our news stories for the day. Hopefully you found those helpful and informative, and we are going to jump to our next part of the show. We have our coffee here. We are going to transition to CodeWars so that we can do some more Python coding, and eventually, because I do want to learn, I do want to get better with JavaScript and stuff like that. So eventually we will transition over to some JavaScript as well. But for the time being, we're going to stick to our Python. All right. So let's throw up, what time is it? 35. Let's throw up 25 minutes on the clock. What in the world happened here? All right. So we'll do a 25er and we shall get to work. So the one that, and by the way, if you haven't done so yet, go ahead and like the video, share the video, leave me a comment, interact with me in the chat, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you can know every single time that we go live or drop new content like we're doing today at noon about on the Bug Bite. And then we have our Q&A clip coming out at 3, and then we go live on Sunday. So definitely subscribe, tune in to everything that we do so that you can continue to level up. All right. So we're doing the count the numbers of duplicates, where we'll write a function that returns the count of distinct case insensitive alphabetic characters and numeric digits that occur more than once in a input string. The string can be assumed to contain only alphabets, both upper and lowercase, and numeric digits. All right. So let's go ahead and click train. All right. So we read that already. And example, so if you pass in, so they want you to do, you just have to put in how many times something occurs more than once, not which ones occur more than once. Okay. So let's think that through then. So here are, like we like to do as well. So 2 A's, 2 B's, all right. So duplicate count. So nothing, 0. This should be 0, A, B, C, D, E, A, B, C, D, E, A, A. So that should be 1, although A shows up 3 times. and then this would be 2 for B and B, and then okay. So that is the scenario, and now we get to work. So like I always like to do first, right? I like to click test, see all my failing tests, and then we are going to get all right. So this is great, right? Our failing test is that this is wrong and stuff, right? So let's just do pass right here. And guess what? I'm using the new keyboard, by the way. I'll show it to you on bigger screen, but once we get back to full screen, I'll show it to you. But I am using the new keyboard that we unboxed yesterday on the live stream. So let's click test again. All right, cool. So now it's not a compilation error. It's just saying that it's not what it should be, right? So now if we were to do this, right? Let's just say we did return 0, right? And we click test. Now our first test is going to pass, or first 2 tests are going to pass, but the other tests are not going to pass. So we can't just return 0, right? So now, and this is like a more of a TDD mindset, but so we have our different tests, right? So now the first one failed, right? Or the first 2 passed, but that's not exactly accurate because how do we get the others to pass, right? So our code goes here. So let's say we do here and we say so we need to say, all right, so we're going to loop. Let me write this out here. So we're gonna loop through each what is it called? Character in the string. And we'll say if. So before we do that, let's say we're going to start counter, start duplicate counter at 0, right? So if we go, all right, and then so we do that, and then we'll say loop through each character in the string if loop through each character in the string. And what we can do is compare that character or so okay, before we loop through, okay, so I'm thinking through this. Before we loop through each character in the string, right? We want, so after we start, so we're gonna say, I don't know if this comes before or after, but we can do it like this. So let's say if, not if, but I'll just say capture. Okay, so this is gonna go here. Just thinking through it. Get to see my mind in action. So we'll say capture each character. Capture each character and then compare that character, or let's say assign character during each phase of loop and compare that character to each character in the loop, in the string. Now, no, this is CodeWars. What's going on, Tony? What's good with you? This is CodeWars. I guess it's similar. I haven't used Lead Code yet, but I guess it's similar. But it's CodeWars. Uh, let's see. Compare the character to each character. Okay, and then we're gonna say if the character what we can do, because all we need is one duplicate, right? We don't like it, even if like, so even if it shows up 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, we don't need to go through the whole thing, because once it shows up more than once, it's good. We increment. So if the character matches the one that is assigned, then we shall increment duplicate count and break the subloop comparison. All right. So so Tony says, "Yo, what's good? What's good?" And he asks, "Are we leet coding? We are code warring." All right, code warring. Okay. So all right. So that's the idea of what I'm gonna do. Right. Let's find out if it works. Okay. So first things first. Right. So we're gonna say here, we're gonna say duplicate counter equals 0. All right. And we're going to now, instead of returning 0 here, we're just going to return duplicate counter. And we are going to test that out. And our first 2 tests, oh, no. Okay, hold on. Expected indent. What indent? I don't have an indent. What are you talking about? Unexpected indent, line 17. I don't know what you're talking about. What in the world are you talking about? Why? Hold on. Let's see what's going on. Your code was your duplicate counter. What the heck? Why are you doing this? Okay, so unexpected indent, duplicate counter, return. If I move this over here. Okay, whatever. That's weird. So okay, we'll just leave it as that, and then we can take care of it. We can just look at this down here. Okay. All right. So we have that still working. All right. So and this is the concept, right? We're starting to refactor, and we want to keep our first 2 tests working, right? Those are the ones passing when we had just returned 0. The other ones are still not working, but that's totally fine. So now let's go to start. Let's get this one working, right? So let's say we're going to say to get this one working. So let's say we say loop through each character. So for character, I'm just going to character and text. let's say, let's just do print character, right? It's still gonna fail, but we want to see what happens, right? So there we go, A, B, C. Okay, so this is like A, B, C, D, E, E. So exactly what we wanted, right? And now it says to. So let me just move this so we can see what we're doing. Jeez. Gotta get used to this new keyboard. All right. So now we are going to say, let's do, right. So we have that, and we're gonna say, character under investigation is equal to, should be character, I guess. So let's get rid of this one. So this is a step where we are assigning character during each phase of the loop. And we're going to say, now what we're going to do is compare that character to each character compare that character to each character in the string, right? So now we're going to say, if character under investigation is equal to I think I need another loop actually. Or if to compare the character to each character in the string. So we should say yeah, I think we need another loop. So we want to loop this again. So let's say we do for character. There we go. For character in text. If character under investigation equals character. Now we should increment right? So we say plus equals 1 if it equals the, and then we also want to break, right? Because we don't want it to like keep incrementing each time like it finds A, we don't want it like, so as soon as it finds the first dupe, then it increments the counter and then we escape, right? But actually, no, there's a problem with that, right? Because now let's say we loop, and then we get to this A over here, and then it starts looping again. That's going to increment again. So what we should also do, so let's run it, right? Let's just see what we have. But what we should also do is remove that character from the list after it is found. And so we also have to make it case insensitive, right? So um so we should do so yeah, we should remove it from the list. So if we go here, text. So here's a scenario, right? Because the same way this is 5, and the reason that this one became 5 is because as soon as it compared the first A, it found that, all right, so this matches. So so we need to remove that character from the list, right? Um, this one makes you think a little, which is good. Let's say it's pop to remove. Let me see. See what this does. Let me move it up outside of a loop over here. Let's see. Just out of curiosity. So this is gonna say all right, so let's do a quick Google search. Remove item from list Python. Just remove? Okay. Oh, okay. So, like I said, I don't remember every single thing, but this is not necessarily going to work because it'll probably remove the whole entire, like all of the A's and stuff like that. Yeah, like Tony's asking, you need to return the amount of duplicates. Yeah, you need to return like the total amount of duplicates. So like for instance, this one would be 2 or this one would be 1 because it has A showing like as a duplicate and all the other ones aren't. This one is 2 because it shows A twice and B twice. So that's what I'm thinking through right now. Six. If I do Python string to list, just a list. Okay, cool. So just a list. All right, cool. Do, 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 do. Let's see what we get here. Okay. Okay, so if I do first thing I'm gonna do is let's say text this equals list text, and we're gonna go here and here. Oops! Oh my god! So I will say that this keyboard is smaller, so when I'm pressing on one key, I keep ending up on the other key. So here, let's do. So we don't need this right now, and let's do a play real quick. And all right, so now we need. So what I'm gonna do in that case is index, and I'm gonna say enumerate on this one. And we're going to say, before we do this, if the could either remove it or I could ignore it. So if do, do, do. So let's try that. So we're gonna do let's say text list dot remove. Oh no. Before I do that, so let me just print index. Right? Let me see what I get. So I should get like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, and an ON. There is a naive approach to solving this if you aren't trying to solve it in ON. What do you mean by ON? And I'm just, thinking through it. It's like nothing crazy, nothing serious. Just waking up my mind in the morning before I get to work. Gonna be working on some AWS stuff. So for ON, there's a simple data structure you might know that you can use to track how many times you've seen a character. Oh, see, I didn't know that. I did not know that. Well, you learn something new every day. Look at that.
I appreciate you.
Time complexity. Gotcha. Yeah, I'll definitely look into that. But we're about out of time. But let me see what else I can come up with before we wrap it up for this morning. And then we can definitely pick up on this one next week to finish it off. But I think we're in a pretty good spot. The reason I'm printing out the index, I just want to see. I want to exclude the position. I wonder if this is going to be weird. So let me print one more thing out, right? Text list dot index. So if I do that, what do I get? 0 is not in list. Python find position. Is that what I'm looking for? I don't think so. Mm. They still give me the solution at training. Let's see. I'll probably figure it out by then, but I'm gonna pick up on this next week anyways. But I'm just thinking I want to exclude it from being so. Anyways, I'll wrap it up. I don't want to think about this anymore longer. We'll pick up on this next week, but we made good progress on this. We're about like halfway done. After we figure out after I think about how to exclude that from comparing in the list, and then we will be on our way. But yeah, so that is it for this morning. Let me transition back to full screen. And thank you, Tony, for rocking with me this morning. Tech Takeover. Hopefully you made it to work safely. And we'll talk later. Tony, check out this keyword. Keychron K2 with the blue switches. So it's very, very clicky. Anyways, we're gonna get out of here today. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I will see you hopefully later, Tony. Hopefully you come train with us today. Yeah. So Bug Bite coming out at noon today. Then we have a Q&A clip. We're going live on Terraform on Sunday. Yeah, I'll post the schedule. I'll post the time for Sunday because it's definitely going to change a little bit. But yeah, that's it. So if you haven't done so yet, subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell so you can know every time we go live. Like the video, share the video. Check out the Patreon at www.techcoachralph.dev if you want to level up your technical skills and possibly get some one-on-one training with me. Right? But on that note, have a wonderful, wonderful Friday. We are going to be heading out. Enjoy the weekend. Do something productive. And we are out.
You might think that getting into the IT field is impossible without a computer science degree, but Tech Coach Ralph is here to prove you wrong. Get ready for some jaw-dropping revelations on how to break into this lucrative industry. Listen up, tech enthusiasts! Are you ready to break through into the IT field, but feel like you need a computer science degree to make it happen? Think again! Tech Coach Ralph has some exclusive, mind-blowing secrets to share with you. Get ready to be blown away by his jaw-dropping revelations on how to break into the tech industry without a computer science degree. So get your notepad ready, because Tech Coach Ralph is going to change your life forever. Buckle up, because you're about to embark on a journey to success in the IT field.